Today we are going to see what is GitHub, why is it used, and what are we doing it in GitHub. Before going into the class or the introduction about GitHub, we wanted to explain you that we as a BestEnlist group, we are creating our own standards of questions which is helpful for getting into internships, college activities and others to get into a job role. We are conducting tests in our platform, so you guys can attend the test in our platform as well. And post this session, we'll be creating an MCQ level questions of maybe 20 or 30 in our BestEnlist web page. You can be posted on it in our LinkedIn page. You can see it where we will post the test link in our LinkedIn page so that you guys can go test your skills on GitHub. So this will be a basic session of what I handle in GitHub. The thing is, you have to practice and come up with your own ideas to learn what is in GitHub. So after this, after the end of class, we'll be getting a link in our LinkedIn channel. So if you are not subscribed to our LinkedIn channel, please go subscribe to it for getting our updates. And it will be like an MCQ kind of question where you have to answer. The thing is, if you get a high score with your stack, say suppose if 30 members are attending the uh, quiz, and if any of you top your list, you'll be awarded with an internship program as well as goodies as well. So go hard, try it out and learn hard, and then you can try. Mostly we'll put the link in your LinkedIn account, so do follow our page. So first most, what is GitHub? So GitHub is nothing but a code hosting platform for developers who develop in two different stages. What is code hosting platform and why is it used? Say on a real-time example, we have two developers working on a simple project. Say A is working on a simple project and B is also working on the same project. So say suppose A will also work on a functionality of the same project and B will also work on a functionality of same project. But we wanted to know each and every action between these two functions or these two developers are in place. So it is a shared resource and shared uh, platform where developers will on at the start of the day they'll get pull from the source, they'll get the source code, and at the end of the day they'll give push. So each and every day whatever the action they do, it is getting accumulated or it is getting stored in a particular central DB. So it is a DB for database for the code platform, code collaboration. So that is how the version control system takes place. And we call it version control because say suppose we have an updated version for 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. We will be having multiple of versions. If you wanted to trace back to the previous version, say suppose 1.5, the build for 1.5 didn't work out, you can trace back to the old version 1.4 by using some mechanisms in GitHub, and you can trace back to the old code and then you can try it out. On this phase, GitHub is much more useful and much more helpful for you in order to be starting your career as a developer. So I personally believe that each and every developer should know what is a GitHub is. So essentials of a GitHub, I would say, is they have multiple repositories. Repositories is kind of a folder where each and every folder respects to particular repository. Say suppose I have my image, assets, and video files for an Android application, Java files, Dart file for a Flutter application. Every files will be there in my repositories. And branches, the next one is branches, where branch lead to is say suppose my version is 1.1 and I other version will be my 2.2. I wanted to copy all those data to other branch and have multiple of branches so that we trace back and we have a multiple branch so that we have a particular version control mechanism to trace back all our ideas and all our updates and versions. Commits. What is commit? Commit. So say suppose if you wanted to, if the A developer and B developer is working on the same code, let's go to the example of what I said. If we wanted to give them a final push, so post that they will commit the code. Once they commit the code, it will be entered into the GitHub system, where on the next day they'll come and git fetch and then write the code, which will be easy for them to have a stack view or a live view on the code, whatever they function and whatever they work on. And this is much more useful when they are using agile methodology. Okay, so now we'll go to GitHub page and I'll tell you how to start with GitHub. So this is this is GitHub. You can go to github.com or you can go to Google, type GitHub and you can go. This anything is fine for you. Thing is, so you have sign up option where you can sign up and create your own account. Create your own account and sign in. This will be my GitHub account and I have multiple of repositories here. So now I want to create a new repository. So what I'll do, I'll create new and here I'll give the repository name. As I already told you, what is a repository name is? Repository is used to store a development project. It can contain folders of any type, and it should also include license, readme, which will go into the later part of what we have. I mean, later part of the session. So it can also used to store text files and resource files and everything that you wanted to share. So we'll create git or demo. We can keep it create. I'll also create an add a readme file. I'll create a repository now. So now I have created a GitHub repository. What I'll do next, I'll download GitHub. So if I want to go here, I'll download GitHub. You will be getting a GitHub desktop version. Okay, I'll go install GitHub desktop. Either for you Mac or Windows, I'll go and download. So I'll go download GitHub for desktop setup and I'll download. So since I have already GitHub in place, GitHub in place, I'll open my git bash. So my git bash should be, so this is my git bash. It will be in my desktop where I can open my git bash. So this is my git bash. So now basic level of bash script that we bash command that we have is pwd, that is present working directory, in which we can get like which is the place where you can where you are currently residing is present working directory, and that resides to C users and my ID. So now I wanted to create or I wanted to configure my GitHub account in my Git here. So what I'll do, I'll git config. So this is the command for configuring Git account. Git config global user dot email will be UOL 24. And the password, and now I need to get the list of global things that I have. So I'll get git config global I'll get the list of all those configs. See, I have username as Gokul94 and the email ID is gokul94@gmail.com. So here I have added my email ID and username for it to get configured. So now I'm going to check what is the I'm going to download this project. I mean, I'm having this project in my maybe as a as a beginner, you can say it is somewhere in the cloud or somewhere in the space. So I wanted to get that space into my local machine. So what I'll do, I'll go here. I have pull request. Here I have this option where I can download this and I can use SSH, Git CLI and anything. So I'll use HTTPS, copy this. What I'll do, I'll go to this place where the present working directory is our working directory gkaliwa, and now I'll create a projects folder mkdir/p proj. So now we have projects. So we'll go inside projects cd. I'll go inside projects and we have already three projects in place. So what I'll do now, I have to download the file which I have downloaded in my which I have in the space. So that space I should accumulate it here and then I can push or pull or whatever I can do. So I will do git clone. This makes a clone of the particular code in your local. So I'll make the git clone of that copied page. Now this is cloning and now we have the files GitHub demo. So I'll go to GitHub demo. So now we have almost everything, the readme file which we had in the repository. Okay, so I have cloned my device. Now git status is the command that I give, which will tell me the status. Okay, I am on the main branch and it is up to date and it has nothing to commit. We'll come to this commit and everything afterwards. So it has nothing to commit and the working tree is also clean. So whenever you are working on any project, whenever you have completed any of the functionalities or any of the ideas that you implement, after every additional move, just try to create git status command every time when you use it. Because that command is mostly tells you what are the changes that you did in actual code as well as the code that originates to us. Let's create a text file in here in this project. Okay, we'll check in which directory we are. We are in present working directory. We guys can see it. You guys can see it now. Present working directory. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a folder. So I'll ls-al will tell me what are the files that I have. So okay, I don't have .git file in my repository which is in place. But why am I having it in here GitHub demo in my, since the computer wants to know that this application is being shared with Git, we are giving it as a .git file in here. So these are the resource files that we have for .git, and that originates or tells that these files are shared with Git. Okay, so now what we'll do, we'll check the present working directory, we are in GitHub demo, we'll create a file with VI editor, VI text, not text. What we'll do, we'll insert the new file into my, now I've saved it. So now I'll try to add this file into my repository. So now if I give git status, see it clearly says untracked file. It doesn't have a track of this file in GitHub. So nothing added to commit. What is commit? We are going to add this file to our the repository, the final repository. What we will do? We have created a texture file and we are going to add this file. Git add test.txt. Now this file has been added. What we'll do? We'll commit. What is committing? Committing is nothing but after adding this file, it will be in a particular memory where it is in stable state. Post that we can add it to Post that we can add it this to a commit where it will get updated into the repository. I'll give git commit /m and I'll give the commit commands. What I can say, added a new file. This says that I have added a new file called test.t. Okay, now we have added a new file and we have committed it, but we won't be getting it in the, if we refresh it also, we won't be getting it here. Now to get it into here, to get it into place, we have to push the code from here to our repository which we have cloned. So what we'll do, git enriching, and we have main. If I git push origin main, it will push my code into my repository, and here it will ask the login for my GitHub account where I'll give 24 and so now if we can see, the object has been added to our HTTPS GitHub account. So it is in the main branch. We'll check it. So now we have the text file which is added 2 minutes ago, which was done by us. Okay. Now this is becoming a thing, and we wanted to. This is becoming more of a command task, right? And we wanted to add a particular text editor. I wanted to add a particular text editor to my GitHub. So I wanted to do something to my GitHub so that my text editor has the same functionality, and I can do every editing part in the text editor. Most of them might not be configured with this thing, right? I mean, with this command prompt, we can have a text editor in place which can be done. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll go to Notepad++. Since everyone might know, like you can download Notepad++, go to next, and you can install it. Post installing it, open command prompt, and if you type Notepad++, it should open. So it is opening for me. Since because I have added this into my environment variables. So how to add this into environment variables? In search, so here we go. I have the Notepad++ path. Copy this path, and here in this PC, go to properties, and in properties, go to advanced system settings, and in the system properties, go to environment variables. Here in path file, give the Notepad++ path. So here I am having the path file for you to invoke Notepad++. Okay, okay. Then now I can open Notepad++. In order to add Notepad++ into Git Bash, so say suppose I have used VI editor to edit the code, edit the a few changes in here. Say suppose I wanted to create a Python project. I wanted to change it in the same bash command. And if I use V editor, the indentation and everything that comes in that doesn't come in editor, right? It won't be that much user friendly for us. Okay. What will I do? What should I do? Is so what will I do? I'll add notepad plus plus dot hash. So this one, if I give if I did the environment variable, it will automatically open for me, and it will automatically take me into this place. What will this profile do? I wanted to configure my notepad plus plus to be invoked in here with a generic instance, a common ID. Config open dot editor. In this editor, I give notepad plus dot txt multi-instant session. And now .exe. Now if I save it and close it, now we have it. So now after this, we are now going to see only it in the Notepad++ if we are having any global change or global configuration changes in here. So okay, now we'll go to git commands that we are using it here. We'll go to present working directory and we'll initiate a fresh project. So what we'll do, we'll go to cd test plus we have multiple of data here. Here git init command will initiate the .git file. Say suppose if I don't have this .git file, git initiate, I'll give the command, but it has already been here. So git init or whatever this is, it will initiate this as a GitHub account. So I'm not running it, and so say suppose I wanted to add a I'll create a new project here. Create cd mkbr /p new underscore project. I'll go to new project and I wanted to, and I'll go to I have created a new project now. cd new tab project. So if I go to project, I don't have anything in here. So what I'll do, I'll create the initial file. Git new slash project. Here initiated empty git repository. So now if I give in ls all, I'll be having whatever which is supposed to be in here for git. Now I'll go to some web page called initializer where I can download free code. I'll go to this web page where I can have the dummy code. So I'll go to Bootstrap. I'll create every possible way to have a dummy code and I'll download it. So I'll just save this file. Okay, maybe I have one thing for me. Copy this, X, and as you will be here, we are File to projects. The projects, the one which we created was the new project, and in this new project, what is our application getting directory? Projects and new project. So project and new project. I have copied and pasted it. We have the initialize. So what we'll do, we'll unzip this file. Now we have the initializer and the new project. We'll go to have a move command where new. So we have the command in initializer. So in initializer, if you see, we have all those commands, and in this we don't have the git file. So what we'll do, we'll git add, we'll git add all the files. So not a git repository or any of the parent repositories dot git. So what we'll do, we'll git init give a repository. Okay, now cd now this will have in place. So we'll git add. Now we'll move the file name and git init. So we have git init. So now what I'll do, git add and dot. So these files will be changed and moved into our repository, and that is now changed into our repository, and now we'll git commit it first. So now see, we have the three files which is not in our project, and we have committed it. So now we have the branch and initial commit. So what we'll do, we'll engine. Okay, so here we didn't put any git the master. So what I'll do, we'll provide the main function, main part, because we haven't given any. Okay. So now we haven't provided any of the path here, since it is not pathing it. Since we are not going into it, we are not referring to any order. Okay. So now, how are we going to pull from a particular place? Say, suppose I have a code repository in here. Say I have a code repository in here. I need to pull it into my local. How am I going to pull it? So same here, HTTPS. I have the Flutter course resources. I'll go to any of the course resource. Say suppose I wanted to go with the icon class. This is an open source project that I have. She has given provided a link to this, and random travel there. Stop. Now open it, this project. We'll create new project. Letter project. Go to new. Here I'll get clone of the file. So this will clone into my system. So this will clone that particular Flutter project into my system. So since it has multiple files, it used to take much more time and then get all those files into my system. So now if I go to new project, magic, all those files which are provided by here, and I can also add multiple of adding, and then I can get my configuration into my this particular ID, and then post this I can also do the same kind of all those stuffs which can be there. So here we have seen how to create a repository, how to get a repository, how to edit a repository, how to add all the files into the repository. So now I'm going to I'm going to create a recursive add. So I'll go outside this. Now I'll go to my projects. In the project, I'll go to my test where I'll be having recursive project. So here I have level 1. I'll go to level 1. If it is difficult for you, like type L and tab, it will go to level 1. So if I type ls alt, I'll get all those files. So here I'll create a file, echo git for us. Here it should be converted to github.text. And now we have GitHub text. So now I wanted to add, I go to level 2, and here I will do the same thing, but group for GitHub text. Now let's go to level 3. And now I'll go to the root directory. Now here go to test, and then if I give git status, we'll have only one place where the file has been added. But if we add git add all those files, see github.txt, git2.txt, it has given only one type of level, but we can see two files being added. So this is how GitHub separates everything and then adds it into it. Now so if we wanted to back out any changes, like we have did a change, right? So if we wanted to back out any change, we'll give git reset head and the file name. So since we have not used any change or any path where we want to change, right? We didn't change anything, so we'll use like the same thing. This command we are not giving it welcome. And say suppose I wanted to reset the file and check out, git check out. So this is how you give the file name if you want to check out and reverse it into it. Okay. So now I wanted to rename my file. How am I going to rename? So say suppose I wanted rename start.text. How will I rename? I'll rename with env. This is not this is a Linux command. Start.text. Oh, yes, dot so source mv source destination. Now we have s.text. In GitHub, it is the same thing. Git mv s.text start.text. So this is reversing it. Okay, since this is not under version control and we couldn't change, but this is how you change in GitHub. Post that, if you wanted to check GitHub's log, how can I get the log? Before getting the log, I need to get with the help command, right? How can I help it with the there's a help command for git help log. If I give git help log, it will open a particular Chrome page for me. So it has opened a Chrome page where I give the git log. So here git log show commits logs and whatever the history that we have. So say suppose I have multiple developers being developing these project for multiple time. I wanted to have a clear view on who developed it and this functionality has been added by whom, and you find a particular issue in a particular page. So you wanted someone to find it out, right? And how could you find it out? By using the same thing, and you can do with helping out in the logs. Now I'll get help log that has opened, and now I wanted to check what are the logs that I have. Git create. I have, so since I don't have this in my test file, I will show you in since I have not committed, it is not showing, and the version help path commit created. I think okay. I'll abbreviate commit. Okay, so this functionality is also available in all your browsers where you can see, I mean, all your IDE environment that you can check with what are the comments that you have. Even in your GitHub account, even in the GitHub account, we had three pull requests here. So all these are being logged. So everything, the issues, actions, and who committed to this repo and actions, everything is being handled in GitHub. So that is how GitHub works to move a document. And we'll clear this. And now we'll I wanted to compare between two files. Say suppose I had A's project and as well as I have B's project. How will I compare? There is a command called git diff. This command is used to differentiate or see what are the changes that we have for comparison. Say I wanted to, say suppose I wanted to have like difference between A and B. What are the difference between the code? I can check. I wanted to know what are the difference between the version A and version B. I can check the code which causes the bug. So maybe a senior developer and a junior developer is working. Junior developer makes an issue and he wants to know on which part he had a mistake, or a support associate or someone makes this issue sorted out. I'll tell you application or a kind of stuff that you can check within your code on what changes your friend or the support engineer or whoever did this. We'll move next to the last section, that is the branches. What is branches? Branches is nothing but the version that you differentiate, and master, client, version, OAuth support, everything. A different branch for different application or different support. Say I have a same product. In the same product, I have different platforms. Web platform, say suppose I have web platform and Flutter platform, and that is Android application platform, and desktop application platform. These are different kind of platforms. Right? How am I going to embed all those platforms? So differentiating all those platform code is differentiating into branches. So how will we use? How will we create a branch? Is by creating Git branch. So how will I Git branch? Git branch. Okay, you can create a branch, and this will create. This doesn't have any branch, so Git branch name branch. Okay, yes. Mm, no, what I do? Git. Now we have a new branch, and post that git checkout branch name. Switch to branch name, and we have A, and E, where level 1 GitHub, level 2 GitHub, this one we have stored, and here which will create, we have checked out, and will get the log. Now git log line line is done. Okay, here if you see, I have added a new branch, and this is in the main branch, and we had initial commits, and we had all the files being in same branches, but they are being shared. Okay, now you can also change the name of the branch by git branch hyphen in branch branch name with anything name. So this will change your name. Yes. And this will give all my branches. So this is now changed to name, which is my current branch. And this is how branches work, and this is how GitHub branches also work. So as we mentioned, we have discussed in this class repositories, branches, commits, pull requests. So pull everything we have so far we have committed everything into this. So we'll be having all those basic commands, and you can try to create your own GitHub account. You can push your code, You can make your own GitHub account. Big companies like farm companies mostly doesn't see your code, doesn't see your resume, but sees your GitHub account and how much is your commitments towards coding program, coding and committing towards your success. You have a platform to showcase your skill. So I see GitHub as a place where you can showcase your skill and use it wisely so that you get multiple of ideas, enrichments in and upload it in GitHub. So that is for today's session. Thank you guys.